Hi friends, welcome to Vigneshwar Academy. In this video, we are going to learn about measuring instruments used in physics and in sciences. First thing, I have given you the basic two examples of a measuring instruments. One is sonar and another one is radar. From this, there will be a very small difference between both of them, but the application of both of this is totally changing. So see here, sonar stands for sound navigation and ranging, and its definition: sonar is a device that uses sound waves, is especially ultrasonic waves, to detect and measure the distance, depth or speed of the underwater objects. It is mainly used to detect underwater objects. I hope you have seen in this picture. For example, we are going to detect what is inside the ocean sea. In simple, we can say that below the sea, if an object is present or not, and at what depth and what distance from the ground it is present, it is used to measure. So here see the transducer, sound pulses, echo. By using this three, the object is found, and with the distance between the transducer and the object, the distance or depth is measured. Okay, and it works on the principle of echo principle. Here the sound waves are sent out and the time taken for the echo to return after the reflection. So here the sound waves are getting returning out, and after reflecting an object it also gets reflected back. The time difference taken for the reflecting back from the object is calculated to find the depth or distance. Okay, and next one is radar. Radio detection and ranging. This radar is an instrument. It's a device, it's an instrument that uses radio waves to detect. It uses an ultrasonic waves and it uses an radio waves to detect and measure the distance, speed, and direction of the object, such as aircraft, ships, and vehicles. So, radar is used to measure the distance, speed, and direction above the ground, that is, in air. It works on the echo principle. So, the principle used in both the sonar and radar is same, but its applications is varying. But instead of sound waves, electromagnetic waves, that is radio waves, are used. Here they are using the radio waves. Here they are using the radio waves, and here they are using an ultrasonic waves, that is sound waves. This is the difference between them. So from this picture, the radio waves are sent continuously in the air. If any object strikes it, it detects that object, and the distance from this radar to that object is measured. Okay, here the using the echo principle, the waves are sent out underwater, and here the radio waves are sent out above the ground. Okay, here ultrasonic waves are sending, here radio waves are sending. That is the difference between them. Okay, so next few measuring instruments are listed here. Let's see one by one. Here the name of the instrument and its uses are given. Okay, first one, eudiometer. This is used to measure change in mixture of gases. So the change in mixture of gases. Next, cryometer, to measure low temperatures. Cryometer is used. Next, digometer, for electrical conductivity measurements. Diagometer instrument is used. Chemometer to measure the frequency of oscillation of electric waves. Frequency of oscillation chemometer is used. Next, ergometer to measure work done. Ergometer. So, unit SI unit of energy is earth. Okay, I hope you remember in the previous classes we studied in units and measurement topic SI units. So this ergometer is used to measure the work done. Okay. Next, heightometer. This is a type of rain measuring instrument. How much amount of rain, how much amount of rain fall has fallen in a particular region at a particular time. So this is measured using heightometer. Next, cyanometer, used to measure the intensity of the blue color of the sky or sea. So in the sky, the blue color is scattered, right? So its intensity, how much intensity the blue color is present in the sky or in sea. In sea, the water is not in blue color. Sea is in blue color due to the reflection from the sky. Okay, you can see this in Rayleigh scattering law. So in that he will prove this theory. Okay, so now uh, cyanometer is used to measure the intensity of the blue color of the sky or sea. Next, durometer. It is used to measure the hardness of plastic and rubber. Okay. Next, lucimeter is used to measure light intensity. So keep in mind first word L and is also first word L. Lucimeter for to measure light intensity. Okay. Next, bolometer, measuring thermal and electromagnetic radiation by measuring changes in temperature. Thermal and electromagnetic radiation by measuring changes in the temperature. Okay, next, polygraph, light detector. Okay, spectroheliograph is an equipment used to photograph the sun. Spectroheliograph is an equipment. Okay, what is the purpose of this equipment? To photograph the sun. Next, megaphone to transfer sound. Okay, next, Beaufort scale to measure wind speed. Beaufort scale is used. Next, helioscope used in observing the sun and sunspots. Voltmeter is used to measure potential difference. To measure potential difference, voltmeter is used. Next, tachometer to determine rotational speed. Stalagmometer. Stalagmometer to measure surface tension. Venturimeter, the rate of flow of fluid at any point in a pipe is measured. Okay. Rotameter, it is used to measure the rate of flow of liquid in a closed tube. Rate of flow of liquid in a closed tube are measured by using rotameter. Next, petard tube, used to measure the rate of fluid flow. Petard tube. Okay. Next, hydrometer, it is used to measure the relative density of liquid. Liquid's density is measured using hydrometer. Okay. Next is sonar. In the introduction of this class, we have seen that sonar is used to detect underwater objects based on the echolocation principle. Next, SUBA, used by divers to breathe underwater. Okay, the swimmers, divers uses this scuba. Next, lactometer measure the purity or density of a milk. Lactometer, the purity of milk. So if there is if there anyone mix water in milk using this lactometer, we can easily find. Okay. Next, thermometer for measuring temperature. In hospitals, if we admit in fever or in some other reasons, in the old time they keep a thermometer in the tank to measure the temperature. Under the tank, they will keep the thermometer to measure temperature. Now this thermometer is just after corona, the thermometer is just like a uh, gun. So if they place it in the certain place in our body, it in digital the temperature will be shown. Okay, this thermometer is used to measure temperature. Next, accelerometer to measure acceleration. Okay, that is speed. Ohm meter to measure resistance in an electrical circuit. Microscope to magnify tiny objects to see them in a larger form. Microscope is used in medical fields, biology like that, to see the cell. If there is any diseases, they will. In scientists use this microscope. Is microscope is not only used by medical terms or in scientists like that. It's just to magnify the tiny objects. Okay, and it shows it in larger form. Next, microtome to section paraffin and plastic embedded tissues. Sextat height measuring devices. Sextat oscillograph is an instrument that displays electrical and mechanical vibrations on a graph. In graph, it displays the electrical and mechanical vibration. Okay. Next, next crescograph is a plant growth measuring device. The growth of the plant can be measured using crescograph. Okay. Next, endoscope. Next, endoscope. Instrument that looks at the parts of the human body. Next, photometer. Instrument that measures the rate of transpiration in plants. Saccharometer to measure sugar concentration. Sugar concentration can be measured using saccharometer. See, sugar, its chemical name is sucrose, and it can be measured using saccharometer. Next, aerometer. This instrument is used to determine the weight and density of air and gas. Weight and density of air and gas can be measured using aerometer. Next, accumulator. It is used to store electric energy and energy used as when need to store electrical energy. Okay, accumulator is used. Next, barograph to measure the change in atmospheric pressure. ATM. Atmospheric pressure change can be measured using barograph. Next, barometer. This instrument is used to measure air pressure. So, atmospheric pressure is measured by barograph. Air pressure can be measured by barometer. Okay, keep an eye on this both terms. A small difference between them. Okay. Next, altimeter is used to measure the altitude of a flying aircraft. Altimeter used to measure altitude. Okay. Ammeter used to measure the electric current. Electric current can be measured by ammeter. Next, calipers. Through this, the inside and outside diameters of cylindrical objects are measured, and in this, the thickness of the object is also measured in calipers. Okay. Next, in audiometer is used to measure the person capacity for various sounds. Next, anemometer. This instrument is used to measure the strength and speed of the wind. speed of the wind and its strength can be measured using anemometer. Audiophone. People use it in their ear to aid hearing. Next, chronometer. This equipment is installed on ships. It is a type of a clock or a wristwatch of great accuracy, especially for determining longitude at sea. Determining longitude at sea is it installed in ships. It's like a wristwatch or a great with a great accuracy. Okay. Next, next calorimeter. This instrument is made of copper and is used to measure the volume and the heat produced during a certain time interval. At a certain time interval, used to measure the volume and heat produced. Okay, it is measured by calorimeter. And a cinematograph used as a camera, projector, and film printer. Cinematograph is an instrument that is can be used as camera, projector, and a film printer. Next, carburetor. This was used in internal combustion of petrol engines. A mixture of petrol and air is made with this machine. Carburetor. Okay, carburetor is used for the combustion of petrol engines. What it do means it mix petrol with an air inside the machine. Okay, next cardiogram. Through this, the heart rate is checked. It is also called electrocardiogram. Heart rate can be checked using cardiogram, and another name for cardiogram is electrocardiogram. Next, dictaphone. It is used to record one's words and orders to another person. It is often used in offices. Dictaphone. Okay. Next, cyclotron. Compass box. Through this device, the north-south direction of a place is known. Okay, it can use to measure east, west, north, south, southeast, southwest, east, west, and all the 16 directions can be measured using complex box with a high accuracy and precision. Okay, next dynamometer. This instrument is useful to measure the power generated by engine. How much engine generates the power can be measured using dynamometer. Next, Geiger-Muller counter. With the help of this equipment, the radiation of the radioactive source is calculated. Radiation of a radioactive source is calculated using Geiger-Muller counter. Next, photometer. This instrument is used to measure the depth of the surface depth and measure using photometer. Next, kaleidoscope. Kaleidoscope. Through this, different types of linear and mathematical shapes appear. Okay. Gravimeter, measuring the gravitational field of Earth at specific locations. At specific locations, the gravitative field of the Earth may vary and can be measured using gravimeter. Next, manometer. It helps in determining the pressure of gas. Pressure of the gas can be measured using manometer. Next, galvanometer and odometer. Odometer is used to measure the distance traveled by a wheeled vehicle. Is used to measure the distance traveled by a wheeled vehicle. Next, theodolite is an instrument used to measure transverse and perpendicular angles. Thermostat. With its use, the temperature of an object is maintained up to a certain point. Telescope. Distant objects can be seen clearly using telescope. For example, we see the stars and other planets from the Earth using telescope. The distant objects can be seen clearly. Viscometer. It is an instrument used to determine the viscosity of liquids or fluid. Barometer is to find the radius of curvature of a spherical plane. Hydrophone used to calculate sound waves inside water. Inside the water, sound waves can be measured using hydrophone. Hygrometer, humidity present in the atmosphere is measured. In atmosphere, the humidity level is measured using hygrometer. Screw gauge and seismograph. Seismograph is an earthquake detecting device. Okay. Next, cryptotone is a device used to generate artificial weather. Artificial weather can be generated using cytotone. Okay, next, photometer. It is used to compare the illumination intensity of two sources. Illumination intensity of two sources is compared using photometer. Phonograph used to sound writing. Using sound, it can be read. It is phonograph. Radiometer used to measure radiation. Radar used to detect aircraft traveling in space and determine their position. Used for the detection and their position, radar is used. Okay. Rain gauge used to measure rainfall. Pyrometer to find the temperature of distant object. Pyrometer is used. Refractometer to determine a refractive index of transparent medium. Potentiometer used in comparing electromotive forces, in measuring small resistances and in calibration of voltmeter and ammeter. Next, periscope. Submarine. Submarine means it is a small underwater ship with the help of which we can also keep track of a movement on the surface of sea. So submarine is not a ship, it's a small underwater ship. Okay, with the help of this we can keep track of the movement on the surface of the sea. Speedometer, it is a speed displaying device which is installed in vehicles like car, truck, etc. The speed will be continuously monitored using speedometer, which is used in all the vehicles. Stroboscope, the speed of object rotating with periodic motion is determined with the help of this instrument. Safety lamp is a device used in mines of lighting. With its help, explosion in mines can be prevented. Safety lamp. Explosion in mines can be prevented and is used in mines for lighting. Gyroscope. With this instrument, the speed of rotating objects is determined. Speed of the rotating object is determined using gyroscope. So today we have learned about the measuring instruments. Thanks for watching, friends. Keep supporting our channel. Subscribe my channel. If you have any queries, comment in comment section. I will give answer and I will give reply for all your questions. Thank you, friends.